Online, in person, virtual, in school, debating in mind. Why so much dilemma? In March 2020, the invisible COVID virus changed everything, even for teachers and students. Its sinister touch turned in person teaching into online, an unexpected and unforeseen experience for elementary students, an initial month long struggle to establish some normalcy. Emphasis laid on literacy, numeracy, and core subjects. Teachers figuring out how much and how to teach online. The admin got busied in equipping students with laptops. Grade 7 and 8 students in their early teens missed their constant in person chatting with their friends, terribly felt the loss of recess playtime and lunch gatherings. Some strongly miss the dynamic spirit of gym classes. Stuck in the four walls of house, the constant watch of older siblings or adults try to find solace in the screen time, late night YouTubing, playing online games, movie watching, texting, in the absence of compulsory everyday virtual learning. Some almost became out of tune with the rhythm of day. Thin attendance, even on those weekly once Google Meet days, with their cameras off and audios on mute, catching up the missed sleep behind the shelter of their names on the screen. Virtually present, but mentally absent. A struggle for poor teachers to get their attention, to grab their attention, to take math concepts to their level. Meena, a 7-8 math teacher, did the video recordings of her math lessons, learnt new apps and online techniques to teach concepts, posted relevant video sources in the Google Class, made it a point to check each student's math homework, did regular calls to parents in order to enlist their support. Quite disappointed at students' responses, immediately realized that it was nobody's fault. Some students need individual attention and repetition. Meena is also aware of that internal fear for math in some. Those students benefit a lot from in class teaching. Meena made up her mind to opt for in class teaching when schools opened for 2021 academic year. An unusual mask on academic year began. Mina's very first act on the first day of school, submission of everyday health screening report. Then she got ready to go to school. With the mask on, she entered her 7-8 classroom, took a final glance at the seating arrangement. Two chairs on the opposite ends of almost 2-meter long tables. Marked one door for entrance and the other door for exit. Placed a hand sanitizer at the entry door. had markers outside the classroom for the lineup, hurried to the school entrance door to pick students. Grade 7 and 8 students waiting at the marked spot in their assigned rows. The EAs checking each student's health pass, either on phone or on paper, making the oral health assessment for the students who forgot to bring the pass. After the health attendance was done, Meena led her students to the classroom and took regular attendance, explained to students washroom policy, 2 students at a time, gave her class a school tour to familiarize students with single door entrance and single door exit policy of the entire school. The location of wellness room in case of sudden eventuality. Hallway and staircase walks following markers. Meena instructed her students not to share, not to go to their friends' tables, no touching or tapping, and frequent use of hand sanitizers. Compulsory use of water bottles. The lunch to be taken at their seats in the fourth period. Initially, their belongings to be kept at their own seat. Later on, alternate lockers allotted for their belongings. At the outset, physical activity on rainy days. Meena leading the class, twisting, jumping, jogging, or stretching at their own seats. A few followed the lead. The others just watched the teacher in action. On sunny days, the class taken to the schoolyard, taking laps and doing stretches while maintaining social distancing. But no balls, no games. Later on, Mina's class got her gym equipment bag with soccer ball, basketball, volleyball, and other handy tools. Lining up for gym has its regular small drama. Some students drawn together like magnets while lining up in the hallway. Mina's repeated reminders about safe distancing, staying in their own squads while stretching or playing in the gym, keeping their masks on all the time. Students understood the gravity of the situation, got accustomed to new ways and novel interactive behaviors, trying hard to make some sense of sudden surprises. Boom! A family member of a teacher or a student got COVID 19. The entire class had to go into isolation. The class went into virtual teaching for that period of isolation. A member of the office staff tested positive. The class she happened to interact with had to go through the same procedure. A few students' inadvertent decision to meet the friends in isolation at a small cave near the school created another crisis in the school. The sight of health workers in the school building, the principal's regular announcements on safety, teachers' constant reminders about social distancing sink into their brains. But they are teenagers. Some slips and some aberrations expected. Love to be in school. Despite all these uncertainties, at least they can see their friends, have those muffled, distant interactions, like to learn in the presence of teachers. School is the only physical and intellectual diversion they have. Meena understood her students' predicament very well. She has had her fair share. At the very beginning of this MASCON school year, she could not decide between handing over worksheets or placing them on their tables, collecting their work from their hands, or asking them to leave it on their desk, or using bins or trays, allowing students to take textbooks home or leaving them at their seats. That means school home connection would be affected. Of course, she could not have physical round table or small group discussions. She can have online group work, some pair work, and more independent work. Black and white board or Promethean board teaching means safe distance for students and the teacher. But is that enough? The individual attention students get from teachers plays a key role in the learning of struggling students in math. The happy and satisfied look she gets from her students when they understand has helped her overcome her unknown fears, has guided the physicality of her teaching. She explains math concepts to the entire class. Keeping safety measures in mind goes to students to clarify their doubts, shows how to understand and solve. That reach and that rapport is the factor that draws her students to her class. Mask on or mask off, COVID or no COVID, Mina's world revolves around her students. No virus can dampen the spirit of teacher in Mina.